I learned the hard way that confidence can destroy property. So my phone stopped charging. Normal problem. Easy fix. In my mind. My friend said, take it to a repair shop. I said, relax, I've watched one video. One video. That was enough for me to believe I had become a full-time engineer. I brought out a tiny screwdriver and sat down like I was about to perform surgery. I even cleared my table. Serious work environment. First problem, the phone refused to open. I whispered, don't embarrass me. It still refused, so I forced it. It opened, and something inside jumped out like it had been waiting for freedom. I froze. I looked at the tiny piece on the floor. I looked at the phone. I said, you probably don't need that. I continued. Now I'm opening everything, screws everywhere. I'm removing things I don't even understand. At one point, I removed something and said out loud, wow, this looks important. Then I kept it aside like I knew where it would go back. I didn't. I cleaned the inside with tissue like I was cleaning a window. Then I blew inside the phone. Not a gentle blow. No, a strong blow, like I was trying to cool hot soup. Spit definitely went inside. I ignored that too. Then came the real problem. Reassembling. I stared at the parts. The parts stared back. We were all confused. I started putting things back. Nothing matched. Nothing. I had screws left. Many screws. Too many screws. At this point, I started negotiating with the phone. Listen, you don't need all your screws. Let's be reasonable. I forced everything closed. The phone looked stressed. I pressed the power button. Nothing. I pressed again. Harder. Nothing. I plugged it in. Nothing. I held it up like Simba in that movie, hoping it would come back to life. Still nothing. Now I'm sweating like I just ran for my life. I shook the phone. Wake up! Nothing. My friend walked in and saw the mess. Screws everywhere, parts everywhere. Me looking like a confused mechanic. He said, what happened here? I said, it's under maintenance.
I don't know.
He picked up the phone, pressed the button, waited, then slowly looked at me. You didn't fix it. You ended it. The next day, I went to the repair shop. The technician opened the phone. He looked inside, paused, looked at me, looked back inside. Then he sighed, a deep, tired sigh. He said, why? Just why? Not even a full sentence. I said, I was trying to clean it. He said, you didn't clean it. You reorganized its entire life. Then he added, this is not repair. This is a crime scene. I had to buy a new phone. Moral of the story, if you watch one video and suddenly feel like an expert, sit down, drink water, and go to a professional.